Hello guys, welcome to Tarot Predictions, and this is going to be your midweek reading. So before I start, I want to remind you that if you do want a personal reading with me, you can purchase one at www.tarotpredictions.net, which is written here in the description of the video, and also sharing the post, which will contain the link of that video at my Facebook page, is gonna automatically queue you for a personal weekly reading, excuse me. And the queue is going to be, the lottery for it is going to be drawn on Friday. So with that being said, let's start with Aries first. And for Aries, this midweek we do have the Hierophant card. So talking about your career, Aries, it does look like that right now you're gonna put some efforts into things which are not really gonna give you money. Okay, these are more like personal agendas. These are more like activities in your current career which, well, they may repay back to you as money, but it will be completely a principle thing, you attending to them and attending to them on top of that meticulously. So it's rather more ego than profit outlook. And on top of that, guys, it does look like that the things into your career, they need to be the matters as well. The difficulties into your career with these cards, with this card, needs to be attended not with a brute force, not with scandals, not with outbursting, and placing people in uncomfortable position. Rather, they need to be attended by a calm conversations where you can really lay down your theoretical explanations of the issues and how you intend to resolve them. And with this card, it is most certain that your kind of approach to those kind of difficulties will be approved. Talking about your relationship with this card, guys, you are about to find a new, deeper and higher meaning to your relationship. In other words, you're gonna find out even a higher, bigger value into your existing current relationship through trust. Okay, so it does look like that you're about to realize that you can trust your partner more than you are trusting them right now. And for those which are single, this card rather not suggest any kind of empathizement, any kind of communication. Rather, it's not just communication, but kind of like appearance of a person. But it does show, guys, that you are on a how can I place it in words? It's kind of like you are shaping the vision of what the next lover of yours is going to be, and when it show up, you will immediately spot them. For Taurus, we do have the Six of Cups. So for you, Taurus, this week, for the duration of the week into your career, it does look like that you will feel yourself quite fulfilled and successful, because your creative work, or kind of like the subtlety and the rather unstandard resolutions of your difficulties, are really gonna give results, and that is going to bring a warm feelings in your life, and you're gonna see yourself productive, successful, and also someone who is highly valued as well. Talking about your relationship with this card, Tauruses, it does look like that you will have that synchrony in between feelings and in between I would have said emotions, but no emotions, but it's kind of like activities. So in other words, you will be able to sync yourself completely with your partner, emotionally and physically, to a point where you're going to start feeling that that tremendous pleasure. It is all about pleasure here, Taurus, and the pleasure of doing great job of reaping the fruits of that kind of success, and also spending fabulous time with your partner into your relationship. It is given to you this week. For those singles, that card urges you to reconsider a denial that you have given to a person that approached you in the recent past. Now, for Gemini, we do have the Sun card. So this card, it is revealed as a success in every single way, guys. But most likely into your relationship, this card shows that if you do have difficulties into your relationship, you can definitely work these difficulties through to the end of the week. It all comes to that, how willing you are to forgive and how willing you are to, you know, to forget as well, and to, how can I place it in words, to move on with a certain disappointment and not allowing that kind of disappointment to influence your relationship. This is all that is gonna came around. Those who are single with this card, you are about to attract a lot of attention. It is because your behavior and your presence in general is going to enthrall a lot of people. Those which are working, guys, into your career, that card suggests huge success. Your projects are going to unfold very naturally, without any obstacles, without any unpredicted, circumstances which are going to set them on halt, which are going to, obstruct your project. So basically, your agenda till the rest of the week, it is free of it is obstacle free, and you are on a clearance to do whatever you think is best for your projects and, as I said, for your agenda in general. This card again as well, it can implant a raise payment, so you can also expect a little bit an improvement into your financial state. For Cancers, we do have the Page of Wands. So if this is a person for you, Cancers, then that person, it does try to present themselves very strong in front of the society, very strong in front of their colleagues, or if this is your partner, they will try to present themselves very strong. It's like they don't give a shit what you do. They don't really care how devoted you are into your relationship and this kind of stuff. But in reality, deep down in themselves, they are very fragile and they are deeply influenced by your behavior. Okay, so if this is your partner into your relationship, you need to know that they may face the misfortune into one relationship with a smile. They may pretend that they don't, as I say, they don't care how you act and how you treat them and these kind of stuff, but they do, and suddenly it could backlash on you. So being kind to those people will go to for a long run. If this isn't a person here, but we're talking about your relationship, there will be some obstacles, some, how can I place it in words, rules which are followed by the company, which are written by the company, that are going to obstruct your progress. Basically, they are going to annoy you. Okay, these are kind of like well established patterns that everybody needs to follow. Unfortunately, if you follow them, it's kind of like you will not have that progress you require, or you have you have for your aim. So what this is gonna force you is to think a little bit unstandard. It's gonna force you to let's say, how can I place it in words, it's gonna force you to surprise people with some very unstandard and as well brilliant solution to your difficulties. Talking about your relationship with this card, guys, you need to be open for surprises, Cancer. It is because your partner is going to surprise you. It is because you need to be open for venturing. Okay, you should leave the comfort zone of a certain routine, well-established routine, and try something different, try something crazy. And for those which are single, this card could be very well an appearance of somebody that is going to catch up your attention. For Leos, we do have the Magician. So into your career, Leos, this card is a clear goal for whatever you are planning to do through the rest of the week. It is basically you have every means necessary to accomplish your goals. But this isn't only that. I mean, by the end of the week you're going to learn something, and that kind of a learning, this kind of acquirance of a skill or obtaining of knowledge is going to serve you very well moving forward into your career as well. This card shows that your ideas will be well appreciated and well taken from your supervisors and from your bosses, and as well your ideas are going to have a lot of followers into your career. Talking about your relationship, for those who are in existing relationship, the relationship should go rather smooth, very well, and there will be really smooth communication between you and your partner. And for those which are single, you are about to meet a person, not exact, no, it doesn't have to be someone new, it could be someone that is around you right now which accepts you, or kind of like it is welcome, it welcomes you. Well, that's not really the expression. Well, they like you for what you are, the way you are. They don't want to change you, and you can make a really good friendship from that. And as well, after the friendship, you can make something to work out from it. It is very initial state right now, and it does depend really entirely on you what you will make out of that kind of relationship. For that was Leo. So now we are going to Virgos. For Virgo, we do have the Six of Wands. So a little brother of the Sun card, which also shows success, but it shows also a personal recognition. So it is very likely, guys, that a certain maneuvers you have planned to do in the past, which you were highly criticized either from your bosses, if we're talking about your career here, you were criticized from your bosses to having that kind of ideas, and nobody believed you that you can pull this one out. Well, guess again, you pulled it out, or you will be able to pull it out by the end of the week, and you will receive a personal recognition. This card, it is a clear sign for an opportunity of getting promoted. Also, it is a clear sign of a successful closure of a step of your project. It is not closure of a project, but a successful big step into your project. However, when that is done, you can of course, take a time and really indulge into your success, take a time to kind of like feel the pleasure of it, but you should not drop off your guard. What I mean is that the majority of the work is done, yes, but it is not over yet. I mean, the thing is far from over, and you need to keep up with the good work moving on forward. Talking about your relationship, this card implants a lot of sex, a lot of also a lot of passionate time and passionate enterprises in between you and your partner, passionate circumstances toward the good end of the world, passionate. Okay, so you will be quite amused, you are going to be quite satisfied with what you get from your relationship, and you will have pleasant time in it. It will be quite dynamic though, and at the end of the day you may burn out as well, so you need to keep that in mind. However, those which are seeking for little bits of fresh wind into one relationship, they are gonna get it right now till the end of the week. For Libras, we do have the Four of Swords. So into your career, Libras, things are gonna go very smooth. As a matter of fact, difficulties that you do have till now, they are gonna simply vanish. They will not be present, and they will like magically disappear, or they will not bother you until for the duration of the week. However, it will be very foolish of you to think of that they are resolved. They are not resolved, and they have to be attended, but not now. You can use that time of peace to think, to make plans, to schedule, to reorganize things, to make structure in them, so you can attend to those kind of ups and downs more lightly in the future. Talking about your relationship with this card, Libra, then it does look like, well, how can I put it in words? It is a withdrawal you're gonna take into your relationship, just so you can see not that how much that relationship works, but what you can do to improve your relationship. Okay, This will be the thing. It is because probably the relationship by now was a kind of passionate, and right now you really need a counsel. You need a third party counsel, someone that it is kind of like neutral for your relationship. I mean, it's not going to take neither your or your partner's side. It could be also a therapist as well, you know, someone that you can trust, and this kind of stuff, which is going to give you sound advices how you can move on forward with your relationship. And if you listen to those advices, the success is guaranteed. For those singles, this card shows that no one is gonna enter your life, and no one from the old people is gonna present you with something you don't already know or you don't already have. Now the next one, that will be Scorpio, and for you guys we do have the Hermit. So talking about your career, it does look like that you are going to attend to something very productive, very meaningful, something that is going to go for a long run. That could be a new project of yours. If you are searching for a job, it most likely you are going to find one, guys, that it is going to present you with a lot of opportunity. Basically, this card shows for you saving the day by the end of the week. What I mean is that if you're feeling desperate, if you're feeling that there is no way out of your situation, into your career and into your relationship, well, the way out of these kind of difficulties you do experience right now will be presented for you. Of course, with this card, it is likely that many is not gonna approve what you need to do. They will tell you, people are gonna tell you that, you know, you don't need to make these kind of sacrifices, or you're better that way, and not, you know, approaching the situation from a different angle, an angle that you can actually alter your things, you know, alter the outcome, traverse the outcome into your favor. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, the direction that you're going to take, it will be a very wise one, okay? But there will be no one there to applaud you, Scorpio. So not that you need one, of course you don't, but always having someone to support your during a time of taking decisions, it is very, very important. However, as we're talking about relationship here, if you do have difficulties, if you do have troubles into your relationship, you also need to make a withdrawal and ask that question to yourself: why I am in that relationship? Okay, how far I am willing to go in it? Because if you, with this card, if you're not willing to go very far, maybe a lifetime, then the answer for you is obvious. Should you stay or go into your relationship? The next one, that will be Sagittarius. For you guys, we do have the Six of Swords. So Six of Swords for your career, it does look like that you need to convince people this week till the end of the week. It does look like, guys, that you need to combine a rival forces. I mean, rival in between them, and you unfortunately is gonna find yourself in between the hammer and the anvil, and some bold actions are required from you to combine those kind of like fighting forces toward the common goal. However, how can I place it in words? You can do that's obvious, but what you can do to make the things easier for you is to point to these kind of like forces. You know, that could be two different teams in your work which are fighting in between one another, or two different colleagues in your job that are fighting in between one another. What you can do is to point them out how much they lose by fighting, instead of focusing on doing what they're supposed to do so they can get the job done. Why I need to do that is because that kind of argument, that kind of conflict there is in your job, even not directly but collaterally, it does affect your work, and you need to clear that thing out. And most importantly, by making peace in between these two forces, you actually have huge benefit from. Talking about your relationship with this card, guys, how can I place it in words? This is also a time for settling out an old misunderstandings into one relationship, but also talking about the future. I mean, talking about the insecurity of the future, and how, not just how faithful your partner is, but how you both are seeing that relationship moving on forward. Okay, so because it does look like that there is a certain fear in one of you, or maybe in both of you, because the things are start getting more and more serious, and either one of you is thinking, oh my god, what I'm getting into. And that's why you need to talk about it, and by talking about it, you are going to reveal to your partner, or at least you're going to reveal to yourself, that this is just a natural way how one thing evolves, how one thing improves, and that that step, either with this person or with someone else, has to be taken eventually. And if you do experience difficulties into one relationship, well, you need to do something about it, guys. I mean, you Sagittarius right now have the have the power to alter your outcome into your relationship. What I mean is that you need to apologize, you need to gift a flower, or this kind of stuff. Basically, the ball is in your field, is at your turf, and you need to play it wisely. For Capricorns, we do have the Page of Pentacles. So that could be a person in your life, guys, that you will attend to. And this person, it's, how can I place it in words? They look like that they are loitering. They look like that they don't want to take on responsibilities. It's kind of like they are postponing activities. It's kind of like they always make excuses, but in reality these people are very meticulous about what they're doing. Okay, it is just that they give impression that they kind of like slow developed brainly, mentally, but that's not the case. They are fooling that way people. They can really do things very well. It is just they need more time than others, but they do the job better than others. So if you are encountering someone which is annoying you with the time that it takes them to do something, leave them be, because at the end of the day the results of what they're doing will surprise you very much. Talking about your career, you have to be kind of careful here, because it does look like that with this card there is a danger that you invest way too much of what you get. It is very crucial for you to know what you really expect from your career and give accordingly your efforts into it. So if you don't get, for example, if you don't get extra paid, don't give extra hours in your work. If you if you don't get appreciation, well, don't give that such a meticulous job in your work. It is basically, if the result is going to be the same as if you do the thing fast, or if you do the thing slowly and meticulously, well, better do it fast. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of thing you have to deal with during the end of the week. Talking about your relationship, especially those singles, this card, guys, it's a arrival of or a sign that you are about to find out the some of your common owners, so some of the people that you are kind of have time with, you know, you're going out on a coffee or you're talking with and this kind of stuff, they are actually a good match for you. However, what is going to happen after that, again, it does entirely depend on you. Those which are in relationship, and especially those which are in a bad relationship, what I mean a relationship that is that is in stagnation, which is kind of like rupturing right now, this card shows that they can find still still feelings for their partner, and their partner can find feelings for them, which means that not everything is lost yet. Okay, for Aquarius, we do have the Emperor, excuse me. So into your career, guys, you will become much more organized by the end of the week. Into your career, you will, how can I place it in words? you will take more personal responsibility. You will become much more consistent. You will show much more authority. You will, let's say, keep everything in your grasp with an iron hand. Very favorable card for managers, very favorable card for team leaders. It does look like, guys, that you will reach huge success by showing authority, and not only that, but also by keeping your team together, by giving an example. It was the right expression I was searching for. So by giving an example as an exceptional worker, as someone who can push the things through, who can lead the team, you can achieve great things. For those which are just a common employee, that card shows that you will present yourself in front of, supervisors and your bosses as someone very capable, someone who is consistent, methodical, systematic, and also with a sense of emergency, with a sense of personal integrity, and also capability of taking responsibility for one's actions. You're going to prove yourself a very, very valuable asset for the company you're working at. In relationship, this card is a sign that you will want transparency into one relationship. You will want to know what the hell is going on in there, so you can make a very accurate judgment. Very how can I say it in word? Yeah, it is about an accurate judgment, or rather like an accurate approach, how a very solid foundation can be set on one relationship. You need to know that if you are very tenacious about that kind of state, the good intentions could transform into a stubbornness. They could transform into rigidity. They could transform into ruthlessness as well for you, for your attempts, caused by your attempts, to establish control over the relationship. And I'm not talking about a tyrannical control, but I'm talking about the control so the relationship can be saved if you're finding yourself into a bad relationship. So that card shows your affinity, guys, to make the things work, your affinity to take on control of the ruining relationship, if your relationship is ruining, and to to rebuild it, to kind of like lay a new, more solid foundations for a well-formed relationship. What I mean, relationship that is going smooth right now. This card shows, guys, that you will want to bring it to the next level. You will want to make something out of it. You will want more responsibilities into your relationship by the end of the week. For Pisces, at the end, we do have the Chariot card. So talking about your career, I don't know how to put it in word, but this card, guys, shows a singularity. It does shows very risky, but at the same time very brave, huge step moving forward yeah, and climbing the ladder of the hierarchy during the end of the week. You are going to pull out something which nobody thought it is possible to be done, and you're going to do it mainly the main cause of doing it, so it's going to be your sense of heroism and your sense of that something needs to be done for that, for that activity. But generally, this card for your career, guys, is also a preparation for a big jump moving forward, as I said, into your career. So it is very general card, really, but in reality, this card shows, guys, that you can follow your agenda into your career if you do have the determination, the iron will, and the readiness to go through difficulties, and the absence of fear or the remorse of fear. So you should have no remorse of fear of being fired, of being, criticized, and this kind of stuff. Something, if you believe that something can be pulled out and you can pull it out, you just have to go for it. Be consistent, be tenacious, and you can do it. Relationship wise, This card shows a lot of romance. This card shows a lot of intimacy into your relationship. Huge determination to give love towards your partner, and huge determination of your partner to give love to you. Of course, one needs to be willing to receive. So if you want love, and if you love intimacy, if you want romance into your relationship, you will get them. I hope you don't get drowned for them, because this water energy, guys, it is tremendous, and you may get drowned into it. So and under drowning, I mean you can really be dwelled by those kind of emotions. So very favorable, as I said, for your relationship, Pisces. It does look like that you will have quite a lot of intimate moments with your partner, where you're gonna share quite a lot of love in between one another. So that was the tarot reading for the midweek for all 12 signs, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it's gonna help you in a certain way. And if it does, please like and share the video. And if you want to be updated in every way for the content of this channel, you can subscribe for it as well. And also, if you want to participate for the weekly giveaway, only thing you have to do, guys, is to share the post on my Facebook page that contains the link of this video, and obviously the more shares you do, the bigger chance you got to win the giveaway. As well, I want to remind you that if you do want a private reading with me, you can always purchase one at www.tarotpredictions.net, which is written here in the post, in the description of the video, excuse me. And as soon as you make your purchase, we're going to schedule an appropriate time for both of us. In case you want to support the channel, you can also make a subscription at my website, guys, and the link is also written here in the description of the video. And as soon as you make that well, it's not really a donation, it is a subscription. You will start receiving a reading once per couple of weeks for the lunar phases. It's going to be a personal report. It is going to be personally for you, not for your ascendant, not for your moon, but not for your sun sign, but for you personally. So with that being said, guys, we're going to see each other next time. I wish you best of luck. You take care now, and bye.